Aning tulele lom chalo yang stay. Aning bizilu mama zala zongi stays. I go pelele boo. Kutala ngikuza one night kizo hamba mna. Kutala ndizama kuteta nawe mna. Oh I go pelele boo.
Ladies and gentlemen, the event is about to start. Please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, the event is about to start. Please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, the event is about to start. Please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome onto stage Marvin Weavers.
Assalamu alaikum. Dumilang. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and our non-binary friends. Welcome to this extraordinary Jakes Gerwel Gala Dinner graduation. I also want to welcome friends and family that's joining us on YouTube. My name is Marvin Weavers, and my pronouns are he, him. I see that's the thing at JGF where because it's a good thing for us to do, because sometimes people can mispronounce who you are. So let's just give up for our pronouns. Let's give up for that, yes. So my pronouns are he, him. I am from Elsie's River, and I stand here proudly today. Proudly first, because I work for this amazing entity. I actually am honored to be part of the JGF talent. I mean, I still from time to time pinch myself, not really, but I pinch myself, like, how did I get here? And it's amazing to be part of this amazing organization and the entire entities. A special welcome to our esteemed guests, CEO from SACE, Ala Pahalani, Group CEO of AGGPSA, Zakita Peter, JGF CEO, Julian Haywood, and any other guests that are here. But most importantly, I want to welcome our graduates. Let's give them a big round of applause. I mean, we're here because of them. We're here because of them. The theme for this year is inspired. Now we have, for those that don't know, we have 86 NQTs and 217 fellows. I think they started with 18 fellows, is that correct, Julian? With 18, and at the moment we have 217 fellows. So, still can't believe it. Tonight we gather to celebrate the incredible journey of growth, resilience, and achievement. As we reflect on how far each of our esteemed fellows has come. Let us acknowledge the transformative power that Jakes has. This fellowship has not only provided a platform for academic and personal development, but it's also nurtured future leaders. Now, I want to stop there. Future leaders, when we say about future leaders, we think about the world. We think about wanting to make a change in the world. But I want to bring us back, not just into South Africa, not into your province, but to your hometown where you're from. Because that's where you first need to make the impact before you can make the impact in your province and in South Africa. I mean, you guys know where you're from. You guys know what you've gone through to get where you are. Some of us might not even have a matricle. Am I correct? Here and there's one or two. I mean, I heard today, not today, 2 days ago, one of our colleagues, Letabo, we were driving back from the office, and he was so excited. He went to go buy a suit. I also went to go buy a suit. I said I'm going to buy a suit, so yeah, I said and he said he couldn't go to his matricle because it was just too expensive. His family didn't have, so he
just like a 5 seconds of just silence and just take all of this in the journey that you as fellows and equities have to take to get where you are today. Just for 5 seconds. Thank you. Now, please let us rise as we honor our nation with singing the national anthem, and I would like to welcome Asaki to the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto stage Asake Tunsalana.
Thank you, Asaki. Before I bring up the next speaker, I'm not too sure, Byron. Can we get the house lights on, please? I'm not too sure if it's that possible. If not, then don't worry. Can we? Okay. Thank you. Before I bring up the next speaker, you're like, I'm a mooi, yo. Honestly, I couldn't see you guys, yo. Maar julle is mooi mense. But anyway, before I bring up the, can we keep the house lights on, please? I would like, just for briefly, what you see here today, fellows and incuties, is months of preparation, months of meetings, arguing about a color on a t-shirt, arguing about no, it needs to be so much centimeter, talking about the design, talking about what goes into your pack, the pen, the packing, the planes. There's so much things that goes into this, and I just want all the JJF talent to stand, please. Before, no. Can all the JJF talent stand, please? All the JJF talent stand, please. Can we get more house lights? Sorry, please. And I want you guys to look around. Thank you. I'm not too sure if any of you've been to the Beyonce shows. I don't think so, because Cyril's economy won't allow us. But I want you, just imagine you are at a Beyonce show. You guys have seen these videos, how people are screaming. That's the kind of noise I want you to make for this bunch of people. Can you do that? Thank you. Now, so remain standing, remain standing. There's another group of people that could have stayed at home, that could have been with their partners, their husband, wives, family, the Sariki team. Where are they? Can they also stand? Because they offered the weekend by just coming here and supporting us. They're additional, they're part of also the group. Let's give them also a massive big round of applause. So for the Sariki team, we've got something for you. We're just going to go on with the program, but we'll just eat for you guys. We've got something for all of you. But just to say thank you so much. Let's give this group of people a last big round of applause. Thank you. I think we can have the house lights off now so that all the light is on me again. Thank you. That's much better. Now, it's my honor to introduce the visionary leader who has played a pivotal role in the success of Jakes. I know he's got something up his sleeve. He always has something up his sleeves. I don't know what it is, but I know he's got something up his sleeves. Let's give a big round of applause to our CEO, Julian Haywood.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome onto stage CEO at the Jakes Gerwel Fellowship, Mr. Julian Hewitt.
All right, thank you very much, Marvin. Wonderful introduction, that. Okay, so let's just put this in context, right? It's 2023. I got asked where I was for my Vision 2030 statement earlier today. But this is vision in action, and we need to remind ourselves, as Marvin so eloquently put it, that we're here right now. And so a couple of things. For the first 3 years at Jakes Gerwel Fellowship, we only had an undergraduate program for the first 3 years. And as Marvin has said, tonight, we're honoring 217 of our fellows and candidate fellows that are here in this room and around our country today. So let's put it up for you guys. And so let's appreciate the journey in terms of where we've come from and where we're going. And so, as Marvin's also said, we have 86 teachers in classrooms as well. And that means, for the first time ever, the biggest focus of Jakes Gerwel Fellowship are in the classrooms around our country. That is a big moment for us. And so, last year, we shared the stories around our very first cohort. We call them the ancestors, right? Now, yes, right now, the staff that you saw stand up outnumber that very first group of people. But tonight, let's have a little bit of fun and let us recognize not just those guinea pigs, those leaders that have so eloquently stepped this path before us, but let us also acknowledge this year, 2023, our first followers. Thank you, Byron.
If you've learned a lot about leadership and making a movement, then let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore, it's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. So it takes guts to be a first follower. You stand out and you brave ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut and it's not two nuts. 3 is a crowd and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. And over the next minute you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they'd be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you are a version of the shirtless dancing guy, all alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equals, making everything clearly about the movement, not you. Be public, be easy to follow. But the biggest lesson here, did you catch it? Leadership is overglorified. Yes, it started with the shirtless guy, and he'll get all the credit, but you saw what really happened. It was the first follower that transformed a lone nut into a leader. There's no movement without the first follower. See, we're told that we all need to be leaders, but that would be really ineffective. The best way to make a movement, if you really care, is to courageously follow and show others how to follow. When you find a lone nut doing something great, have the guts to be the first person to stand up and join in.
The special evening we have in front of us tonight is to recognize the second cohort of Jakes Gerwel Fellows, aka the first followers. And if you would have noticed today, there would have been some special people that were in some of your sessions, in some of the events. You might have had the president of a big trade union stand up and give some wonderful life lessons. You might have also seen the president of SACE, that is the body that accredits and professionalizes the teaching profession, as part of the whole day's proceedings. You would have seen people from the DBE, people who used to head up Funza Lushaka. You would have seen some very influential people, and I think it's important to realize that we've got to the stage where we have got a story to tell. And so in that story to tell, I want to just recognize 2 individual people in 2 very different ways. And so, of course, it's very exciting to be up here as the CEO, but you all know that culture eats strategy for breakfast. But the people are underneath and underpinning that culture are what really define the success of Jakes Gerwel Fellowship. So when we talk about the group of people in front of us, we definitely mean the staff. And there's one very special person that has been with us right from the beginning. There were 4 founding members: myself, Carla, Jeremy, and Paul. And so I'm going to recognize somebody that has taken the decision to get offered a really wonderful leadership role and move out and on from Jakes Gerwel Fellowship, and that is Paul. So Paul, please, I would love you to just stand up tonight, because I know you don't like attention. So, put your hands up. Okay, more than that. Stand up if Paul was your program officer at any stage in your journey at Jakes Gerwel Fellowship. I want Paul to see the impact that she's had in these people around the room tonight. All right? How many of you who are standing now are graduating today? All right, so Paul, I want to recognize just the significant contribution you've made. Now, Paul doesn't like the spotlight, right? She's going to moan at me after this. So I just want to say this is the organization that you helped create. This is the legacy that you helped build. And I've got a little gift for you on behalf of everyone else, just to say thank you. And I'm going to ask all of you very, very quickly to come up here, and we're going to frame a photo from Paul with everyone whose lives she's touched. But that's going to be the real gift, to show the legacy. So if you're standing, come forwards. We're going to have a quick photo with Paul in the action here. Exciting things in Jakes Gerwel Fellowship is because we're so new and young. So sorry, Paul, before you go. This is the little thank you gift, right? But it's going to be that photo that's framed, that's going to be on your wall, that's going to be the real present. Thank you. So the lovely thing about a new organization is if you do something twice, we call it a tradition.
Thank you.
We're into the second graduation, so it's tradition. It's a tradition now. And one of the things that you will have the chance to see a few more people wearing this year are their graduation blazers. Those are very, very well earned. There's a huge amount of effort that's gone into recognizing what those jackets stand for. And no one outside the Jakes Gerwel Fellowship has received that jacket, except for one person last year. It was somebody that's been very influential in our journey, and she has contributed significantly from our second selection camp, and is also now joining us in a more full-time capacity. And this was, of course, the first South African teacher to be in the top 10 of the Global Teaching Awards, and that was Marge Brown. However, to make this a tradition, we're going into year number 2. And there's another special person that I'm going to catch a little bit off guard tonight. And we have had a phenomenally wonderful relationship with SACE. And Ella is going to come and share a little bit about the SACE experience as our guest speaker. but I'm going to take the initiative today on behalf of Jakes Gerwel Fellowship team, and Ella, not just for you, but for the wonderful team members that you have behind you that have worked so passionately and so closely with us. And please join me in recognizing the second recipient ever outside of the fellowship of the Jakes Gerwel Fellowship Blazer. Ella, please come forward. Thank you so much. Ella and her team are complete inspiration to the teaching profession in South Africa. And just to give you a little bit of a sense of it, in the next couple of days, she is going to go on a national road tour and speak to 25,000 principals across South Africa. So, Ella, thank you very much for your contribution to education in South Africa. I'm going to hand back over to our very esteemed MC. Thank you very much, Fonman.
Did you guys hear? The esteemed MC. Not just any. See, what did you hear? The esteemed MC. Next, I would like to welcome Zimkita Peter as our keynote speaker. Let's give Zim a big round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome onto stage CEO at Alan and Jill Gray Philanthropy South Africa, Zimkita Peter.
Is my stuff up on screen? Do I have a picture on screen? Not mine. The one I would like to read. It says, in the coming years, there will emerge from diverse communities a new generation of high-impact entrepreneurial leaders, individuals of passion, integrity, and innovation, who will be at the forefront. I'm over 40. Who will be at the forefront of the continuing economic and social change transformation of this region. These individuals will be ambassadors of the power of initiative, determination, and excellence, acting as role models so that many more may follow in their pioneering footsteps. Ellen Gray, 2005. Candidate fellows, teachers, esteemed guests, good evening. Good evening. Ninjani? Ndiyaphila. Kuthiwa amaqobokazana ngalala endleleni yazini kunyembelekile. Thank you so much for inviting me here this evening. It's such an honor to be here and to address you. I was asked, because usually they don't tell you what they ask the speaker to say, now you're wondering why, to include in my address this evening what inspired me to do the work that I do. So I'm going to take you all the way back. I'm going to tell two stories. I'm going to tell a bit of my story, and then I'm going to go back to the quote that I started with. So many years ago, at the age of 11, I knew that I'll be doing the kind of work that I'm doing today. I didn't know where and I didn't know how. And the reason why I knew that is because I grew up in an environment where one day I went to school But because we were angry at the white people, we burnt our own school. I still couldn't quite figure out how that worked. I was like, this is our school here in the township. Why are we burning our school? So I went to school, and the school was not there. It was ashes on the ground. There was school the previous day. There was no school the next day. And so they told us to go, and they called it platooning. So they told us to go to another school. And so for a couple of years of my life, I started school from 12 until 3, or 12 until 4. And every time we got to the classroom, on the board, the previous teacher would write all the notes, and then there was these words that were always stuck in my mind, PDNE. Please do not erase. So the teacher from the previous class had written all her notes, because most of us didn't have textbooks, on the board, because I guess that's what they did. And so they didn't want this teacher of ours that comes to platoon, I don't know why they called it that, at this school, to erase the notes from the board. And because they didn't want that, most of my schooling I was spent listening to someone read out from a textbook. But I had an incredible teacher. The first one was my own grandmother, but she wasn't a practicing teacher by the time I was born, because in those days, apparently, when you got married, you couldn't teach. So we've moved so far in society. And so she made it a point that while I was in a Quintal 1 school, while I was probably in a school that needed to use another school, but she made it a point, especially at home, to help teach me to read. I grew up in a system of a bucket toilet system. And one day, as I was spending some time at home, somebody came who was a very, very, very distant relative. And they asked, when they looked at the situation at home, so they then asked if they could help pay for me to go to grade 10, I think years later, grade 10 and 12, to another school and another boarding school. And they did that, and they paid, and I transferred, and I went to that particular boarding school. It was within that boarding school, it was within this person that actually paid for my education. And when I got exposed to real incredible teachers at that particular school that I went to, that my entire trajectory in life changed. So I owe my career, I owe the growth that I've experienced, I owe the development that I've experienced to the first teacher in my life was my grandmother, and thereafter every other subsequent teacher that has come into my life, especially during my last high school years. And there was a particular teacher, her name was Mrs. Beatty, and she was actually my biology teacher, but also beyond just being a biology teacher, she ensured that beyond that, she started an environment club. And it is in this environment club that she really started helping us, what I didn't know then, but I know now, developing entrepreneurial thinking, developing leadership thinking, always going beyond the call of duty to just really collect us and make sure we do the environment club, take us places, expose us to so much more than just what we're experiencing in the school environment. And it's that teacher that has made such an incredible impact in my life. So I think you've heard this so many times, that there is no doctor, there is no engineer, there is no lawyer, there is no CEO, there is no profession, there is no actuary, there is no accountant, there is no profession that doesn't go through the hands of teachers. So we want to celebrate you today. I want to say to all of you that are graduating, congratulations. And that's a bit about my story. That's a bit of what inspired me to do what I do today. That's a bit of what inspired me to actually decide at some point that what I wanted to spend my life doing is that I wanted to spend my life contributing to unleashing human potential. Because I realized that poverty, one of the things that it robs you of, it robs of human dignity. it robs you of the opportunity to be able to fully explore your human potential. Every single person, regardless of background, is born with immense potential. And sometimes the only difference between those that make it and those that don't are the resources that they have along the way. Sometimes the greatest resource any young person can have is a person who believes in them. And sometimes that person doesn't exist at home, but that person can exist in the classroom to be able to transform at least one young person to believe in themselves. So that's why I believe in the power of education. Therefore, I then decided that whatever I was going to do in my life, I was going to always be able to be investing in the lives of other people through education. So in 2008, I think, I joined the incredible organization called the Ellen Gray Orbis Foundation. So now you can see how old I am, like 2008. Some of you are like, you was in grade 5, grade 6, wasn't born. Were you guys at school? 2008, grade 3, grade 3. Oh my goodness. Oh, goodness me. Grade 4, anyone grade 4 to make me at least feel better? Grade 4? Grade 5? Grade 5, okay. So I joined the incredible organization called the Ellen Gray Orbis Foundation. The Ellen Gray Orbis Foundation was founded in 2005, and the founding CEO, Mr. Anthony Farr. It was born out of a vision by Mr. Ellen Gray to attack the triple evil in South Africa, which is poverty, unemployment, and inequality through entrepreneurship. But he always believed that for anyone to become a great entrepreneur, one of the most important things was that everybody deserved access to quality education. So in 2005, he set up the Ellen Gray Orbis Foundation, started by Mr. Anthony Farr, as I've said, to really create an opportunity for every young person in South Africa who comes from an underprivileged or under-resourced background, but with great potential to become an entrepreneur, to be able to gain access to quality education, entrepreneurial exposure, and access to finance. And today, I think earlier the numbers were quoted that you guys were 18 when you started, now you are 217. And I remember when we went to school, from one school to the other, and we were reading the statement, in the coming years, there will emerge a new generation of high-impact entrepreneurial leaders. In the schools where we're going and doing these campaigns, people will ask us, so how many do you have now in the... Like, yeah, we've got about 46 at university, 100, you know, they're like, but in the coming years. But as I stand here today, the Ellen Gray Orbis Foundation has educated more than 500 scholars in high school, has got 500 candidate fellows at university, more than 1,000 that have graduated from the program, more than 300 that are now practicing entrepreneurs, others that are in policy, others that are in government, others that are really shaping our country. And we, not only that, out of not just that fellowship, but the Ellen Gray family has gone on to really support so much more initiatives, like the Funda Wande initiative, which aims at ensuring that by 2030, all South African children can read for meaning and calculate with confidence by the age of 10. Like the Ellen Gray Makers, where we say that's where this, the technical talent meets the entrepreneurial spirit, that currently supports more than 300 artisans that are plumbers and electricians to start businesses and grow those businesses very well. That recently had supported more than 10 organizations in South Africa, that those organizations that aimed at supporting young people to start jobs and to grow in particular jobs. And the aim of a project we started was to create 10,000 jobs. At the end of that project, we created 20,000 jobs. And I thought, let me save the best for last. And it is the same organization, it is the same vision from one man, the lone nut, that danced alone when he wrote a letter in 1984 and wrote it to the then government wanting to start this work. And that lone nut and that then government did not agree to that. But then the lone nut started dancing alone. Then he recruited one more lone nut, that was Anthony Farr, who then danced with him. And then we started following the leader, and the likes of us and the Julians and many started following that leader. And also, through that initiative, through Mr. Alan Gray and his generous support, both to South Africa and to the African continent, the Jakes Gerwel Fellowship was also birthed. And today, you are a proud result. And today, you are a proud result as a result of one person, one person, one person. And we have always believed in the power of the individual. Yesterday, we heard how one person turned around a school in Limpopo. Yesterday, we heard about the amazing inspiration and the work that gets done by Spark Schools. And that, I can tell you, was also an idea of a lone nut that got others to join them. Yesterday, we heard about the Bulunga incubator that also, in the harshest of conditions, decided to make a difference. But today, I'm so proud and I'm so grateful to be standing before 217 lone nuts. And we can't wait to see you dance. And we can't wait to join your dance. Because what Africa needs is not just to hear about how many young people do we have. What we need is to find a way to quickly turn our population into an amazing human talent. We need to find a way to unlock the potential that lies within Africa. We need to find a way to release the human and the entrepreneurial spirit that lies within Africans. We can no longer afford to depend on aid. We can no longer afford not to become the innovators that we know we can be. We can no longer afford not to become the artists that we know that we can be. We can no longer afford not to control and drive and grow our own economy the way that we can. I was so proud earlier on when we sang our national anthem and we claimed this country as ours, because this country does not belong to politicians. It belongs to every single one of us. And I hope that as you graduate today, as you walk out of these doors, you go back to your classroom, go back to your family, go back to your community and say, what's the dance I want to do? What's the dance that I want to do as a lone nut, so I can turn this community around. I can turn this nation around. This nation needs every single one of us. There is no other way to achieve economic freedom in our lifetime unless we ensure that every person has access to the best education that they can ever have. And who else do we have? But we believe in the ambassadors, the 217 lone nuts, the 217 ambassadors that are staying here. In my language, bathi amaqobokazana ngalala endleleni yazini kunyembelekile.
Thank you, Zimkita. Let's give her another round of applause. I was standing there and I was inspired and stories came up and I was like, Marvin, het gaan nie oor jou vanaand nie. It's not about you, it's about the graduates. It's not about you. Don't tell your story. Don't tell your story, but I want to tell my story, so I'm not going to tell my story. Anyway, next up, we have the privilege tonight to receive a message of support from a leader in education. She was just on stage now. Ella Magalane, please excuse, am I saying it right, Siwa? Thank you. I couldn't sleep last night, young, and Siwa was like, that's how you say. Siwa even sent me voice notes. Thank you, Siwa. And I just want to say that her unwavering commitment to educational excellence aligns perfectly with the values of Jakes. Please give a warm welcome to Ella as she says her inspiring words of encouragement and support.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome onto stage CEO at the South African Council of Educators, Ella Magalane.
Good evening to the CEO, all the PG fellows, the graduates, our teachers, our newly qualified teachers, and everybody in the house. You see, when you talked about the power of believing in someone, I'm a product of that. You won't believe that I failed dismally entrance to Wits University.
What is my line again?
You can't believe it. But it was the one Professor Mary Metcalf, I think you know Mary, those that are in education, that said to the entire faculty, she failed 100%, but I can see potential in her. No matter what, Wits wants, and it was during the era of apartheid and whatever, you shall take her. And every day when she sees me, she says, you are just my girl. I defied all the odds, and here you are the CEO from failing. So I was just echoing what she was saying earlier on, that we need to really believe in people and support them. On that note, greetings from the home of the teaching profession, the South African Council for Educators. Without you, there's no teaching profession. And therefore, she said it well. This is the profession that creates all other professions. We have all these people in the country because we have the teaching profession. And therefore, I want to say to you all that teaching is the most rewarding profession. Am I lying? Those that are in classroom can tell you. And if you truly and honestly love it and have passion in it and have the character to be a teacher, then you will enjoy it. And I'm also saying, having listened to you throughout the day, having observed the passion that you have in terms of what you are doing in your own classrooms, but also those that are studying, I can believe, and I want to say, and I can attest to the fact that all of you are going to make good teachers. And we are running short of that in schools. And I've listened to the evidence this morning in terms of the monitoring and evaluation, and I can attest to the fact that you are producing from the fellowship what we exactly want in our classrooms, in our schools, and therefore I'm looking forward, as the CEO of SAYS, having so many of you, 217 in our classrooms, and making a difference that we are so longing for in our schools. And therefore, I want to say, especially because you are doing PGCE, let me say this. I'm fully aware that many of the teachers, many of the officials, and many of other B.Ed holders continue to call you names. No, this one I need to say. They continue to compare themselves with you. They continue to sideline you in terms of job opportunities. But as the JG Fellowship, PGCE students, and also the newly qualified teachers, honestly speaking, I need to say you remain a brand to be reckoned with. And therefore, no matter what they are going to say to you, no matter what they say, walk tall, because the evidence from the monitoring and evaluation that we saw this morning shows that you've got what it takes to make it in our classrooms. And talking from my 28 years of working with teachers and nothing else, I was telling them earlier on, my blood, it's written teachers. There's nothing that I know in my entire career except working with teachers. Literally, I've never done any other work except working with teachers. If you don't enjoy teaching or love children, then there's very little which will adequately compensate your efforts. There's no money in teaching. Plain. I'm putting it honestly. And therefore, if you do not have that passion, you don't love children, you don't love what you do, you don't have the character and all those kind of issues, then you're not going to make it. And I'm also saying, also at the heart of the profession is kindness. If you're not going to be kind, it's going to be difficult. But it's also about the duty of care. It's also about love. These three things are at the heart of the teaching profession. And I know they say money makes the world go round, but I want to say kindness, duty of care, love make the teaching go round. Yes. Otherwise, if you don't do that, you're not going to succeed. So we need to make sure that we build a capable, professional, ethical, and inclusive teaching profession. Very important. And therefore, we also need to build trust. So much is going on in our schools because of lack of integrity, trust, and all that. And therefore, in our teaching profession, let's make sure that as we continue, we deal with those kind of issues. When we register you, one of the things that you are doing, you're signing a social contract, which is invisible, social contract between yourself and the public, between yourself and the parents, and also between yourself and children. And therefore, as we do that, remember, you also have a constitutional duty that says that the interests of the child are paramount in any matter affecting them in terms of Section 28. Therefore, you can't harm them if we believe in that. Therefore, we can't see them as girlfriends and boyfriends. Therefore, we can't beat them. We can't steal from them in terms of their money. Teachers are stealing RDPs. And I'm serious, I'm talking about real things. We've got teachers that are stealing, what is this money? Social grant from children. There are teachers that are stealing school nutrition. And therefore, if we are calling ourselves professionals and being serious about this, there's no way we can do that. Now, as I moving towards the end, let me share with you some realities. You're going to find children. Be proud that as teachers, you are building communities. You're enabling teaching and learning because those children are in your hands. That's number one. But secondly, you're going to find beautiful and attractive young girls and boys. When you look at them as your sons and daughters. And I'm going to repeat it. Look at them as your sons and daughters and not what? Girlfriends and boyfriends. Remember, you are in loco parentis. You're standing in place of the parents when we are in a school. And therefore, you're going to have supportive and also welcoming colleagues. Make sure that you leverage on that support that you receive and also mentorship and coaching and all that. Embrace change, embrace innovation and creativity. Already you're doing those things. But also on the contrary, you're going to find those abusive, bully, irritating colleagues. And especially because of issues of intergenerational issues within the school. You're coming in, some of you as millennials, some of you as Generation Z, and then you're going to find us. And when you find us, we tell you what? You're coming with all these things, who do you think you are? And you're going to find others that are saying, hey, this funzas, they don't even know what they're doing because they name you as like that. But you're also going to find ineffective system. Let's be honest about this. When we were in the parallel session that was talking about employment, what? Yes, that session. There were a number of issues that were coming up about the system that is wrong. You're also going to find naming hate speech. You see, children and also teachers who belong to the LGBTQI+ community are having it tough in schools. And therefore, one of the things that we've done as SACE is to take a conscious decision to say inclusivity will be appreciated in schools. And therefore, we will not tolerate those colleagues within the school that are really making some of the teachers and learners uncomfortable. We just barred one student teacher from continue. Well, she can continue with the qualification, but we won't register her. Let me tell you, when you go and do teaching practice, you are not supposed to be alone in a classroom because you are not qualified. The minute you are remaining alone in a classroom, who is in loco parentis? It's not yourself, it's the teacher that is supposed to be guiding you. Now, we had this student teacher who raised a question and say, you answer. And as he was answering, then the teacher said what? Hey, you Butisisi, answer the question first. You know what happened? By 3 o'clock that afternoon, that child committed suicide. I can tell you all horrible things that are done by teachers. And what we then had to do, the principal takes responsibility, the teacher who was supposed to be in class, the student teacher has been barred for life from the teaching profession. So I'm just highlighting this quickly so that we can be in a position to understand some of these issues. But remember, you've got the values of the teaching profession as well. Issues around dignity, tolerance, etc., etc. I think earlier on during the day they were shared with you. They serve as the spectacles within which you can use to view the world. If you are confronted with some of these issues, look into those values for them to be able to assist you with some of these issues. And we are also saying lifelong learning is very important. I might have done my degree, first degree, graduated in 1992, but it's yes, my first one. Yes. But even if it's 1992, remember you need to learn, unlearn, and relearn. There's no way that you can say that. Earlier on, I was looking at my thesis that I'm submitting, and I'm saying lifelong learning, because I did my master's a long time ago, so I need to do another one and refresh my different whatever. Yes, therefore, so I'm in the history, I've done all the education qualifications, but I felt, by the way, I didn't do M.Ed. Let me do M.Ed. But then I've done all the management and whatever up to master's, I'm done with all the levels. So my 9th qualification next year will be my PhD. So don't forget your well-being. Don't forget your well-being. It's very important because otherwise you're going to burn out. And in order for you to burn out, teacher well-being, personal well-being, the me time is very important. So look into that. And I'm rushing because of time. There's so much that I could have shared, but I'm looking at time. So I'm saying the only thing more expensive than education is ignorance. Ne? Therefore, we can't even say we did not do this because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Therefore, let's make sure that we become lifelong learners. And in closing, I've skipped so many things because of time. I'm saying to you, someone is sitting in the shade today or will sit in the shade in the future because someone planted a tree long time ago. And that someone who planted that tree and making a difference and giving birth to another similar person in the profession will be you. And therefore, the graduates, congratulations in advance. We welcome you to the teaching profession. And when you feel the heat, please knock on our door as SACE. we are a professional council for and not of teachers. And therefore, we feel teachers' rights, responsibilities, and safety is very important. And we've got a program that is focusing on that so that we can also look into your rights and not only when the children are harming or are doing something wrong, or when you're doing something wrong, we come running against you. So therefore, we are really looking forward to hearing from you, knocking on our doors, and saying, we will say to you, how can we help you? But we are not like FNB, ne? So we are not stealing the FNB slogan. But thank you very much, and we're looking forward to even more collaborative, Gillian, working hard with you to make sure that all the cohorts, we really support them and also collaborate with you for life, if I may say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Masala. Thank you so much. You know, there's a lot being said tonight, especially I think Zamkita said something, Julian said something, others said something, just about the impact, and we know the impact that teachers has. I said, I'm not going to tell my story, I will tell it later. Time is against us. We still have, there's still a lot that we have to do tonight. So there's, coming up tonight, there's still a lot that we have to do, basically. Okay, don't know what's that.
chapa ayengukongotwane sebequbuleka chapa kuthiwa ngukongotwane sebequbuleka chapa ayengukongotwane sebequbuleka chapa kuthiwa ngukongotwane.
Good evening, Joburg. Oh, it's so nice to be here. Kumnandi balapha. Oh, you are such a warm crowd. Thank you so much. To those of you who do not know me, my name is Sigi Joanne, and I was on a show called The Voice South Africa. The show that changed my life, and that video went viral. You know, your life can change overnight, believe you me. I'm also a teacher.
Yes!
So lucky.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Let me tell you something. They say that, you know, teaching is a boring profession. It's so nice. When I started teaching, I started as a creative arts teacher. Where are my creative arts people? Creative arts is the most subject that I love to teach. But now I am at Cura Waterfall. I'm so blessed. I am the head of music and culture. So it's so beautiful to be in a space of young people who are change makers like me. And one message that I have for you today is that you can be a teacher and more. You can be whatever you want. You don't have to stick to one profession. I am an example. I am so blessed that the school that I'm teaching at understands exactly who I am, and they take me as an asset. So whichever school that you're working at or in the future, show them your skills and show them that you are actually worthy of being there and of being employed by them. And with my contract, it's very flexible. They understand that I'm a musician and they understand what I am bringing into their school. So you don't only have to focus on being a teacher when you work at a school. Show the people what you have and make it worth waking up each and every day to go to work. So I'm not here to speak today, but I just thought, let me just say that, you know, for you. I'm going to sing a few songs for you. One of them, I'm going to sing African Dream. I believe that we all have an African dream. Followed by Special Star and Vulindlela. Do you like that? So for this one called African Dream, you can take a video or show your lights up for me, please. African Dream. Sometimes alone in the evening, I look outside my window in the shadows in the night. I hear the sounds of distant crying, the darkness multiplying, and weary hearts deny. All I hear is my heartbeat, beating like a drum, beating with confusion. All I hear are the voices telling me to go, but I could never run. Cause in my African dream, to fall. I listen for your call. I listen for your heartbeat. Alone, my dream is just a dream, another false illusion, a shadow in the night. All I want is for our heartbeats to be beating just as one, to silence their confusion. Then the pain and the illusion will disappear again, and we will never run. Sing it, Pumba de Africa.
Can we still do it?
This is my African dream. Ipupulabule Africa.
What is the order that we've asked them? Who is not in the
This is
order?
my African dream.
The order that we've given you guys.
See, alone is time free.
Yeah.
This is my African dream, my African dream. Thank you so much. Let's sing Special Star together and dance throughout Budindlela, ne? Okay.
That's fine, Biden. Do it her way. Do it her way.
When the
fine, just
stars no longer shine, when the stars fall from the sky, when the stars no longer shine, when the stars fall from the sky, I will be forever yours. You will be forever mine. There's a special star that shines every evening in your eyes. There's a special star that shines each time I hear the lullaby. There's a special star that shines every evening in your eyes. just realized that I'm wearing the incorrect dress for today. But I know you are moving on my behalf. Please don't leave, let's do Vulindlela together. The stage is yours for a bus. Kwelani bus. Gibela Vulindlela. Apa makwelo. Can I hear some ululation? Yeah, 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 yeah. It's a celebration. Aibo. Vulindlela. Where mam kobozi. Eonyana wam. Yele numachata namsa. Vulindlela. Where manyahuza. Subanona. Nena wamush masambe. Bengazi. Onyana wam. Yelu bodile. Mahatebe. Chica, them chatwe, Sachatisa Namsanje, Bebesit, when you know I'm Bebesit, I got chatte fully hella, where Mam Cobos, fully hella, Elomona, fully hella, and it's any time to my room. Chica, I know. Kodwa wena mango best ewenu nomona koba unanyanda unetopzo chika mango best ewenu nomona koba unanyanda unyada chewam bekati yamanu makati chika aibo enu chongile Mahatebe, Fuge Hussein, Uzen Shande, Sacha, Bebesit, Aibo, Unyana Wamulika, Bebesit, Ange Gachate, Aibo, Fulin Hella, where Mam Kobos, Fulin Aibo, where Mam Kobos, Vulindlela, Elomona, Vulindlela, where Mam Kobos, Vulindlela, Elomo, Diabulela and Kosi. Vulindlela, where Mam Kobos, Vulindlela, Elomona, Vulindlela, where Mam Kobos, Vulindlela, Elomona, Vulindlela, where Mam Kobos, Vulindlela, Elomona, Vulindlela, where Mam Kobos, Vulindlela, Elomona. Thank you so much.
Sure. I don't even have words. Just for your information, do you know how I had to keep that a secret? Staff members were asking, live entertainment, what's happening? I'm like, don't worry. Like, don't worry. We will have entertainment. Wasn't that amazing? So yeah, one more round of applause to Sikhi Jain. One more round of applause. So what's going to happen now? So all of you are hungry by now? Yes. No. There's still more entertainment, but we need to eat and we still have a whole program. So we are going to go for dinner now. And we are going to do it table by table. So we'll start with table one. The team at Birchwood will help us, just to direct us. What did I say? Oh, did I? Oh, yeah, lag even my nie. Oh, the team at Birchwood is going to help us just from table to table. So we'll start with table 1, table 2. So the dinner is in, not Yellowwood, Cedar. So basically we go up to Cedar, you go dish, then you go to the bar area, which is next door. We say, no, you are teacher. we have the CEO of SACE here. We can't go on like that. Joking. So yeah, so we go table by table. You dish, you only dish food now, you can go for dessert later. So let's just get the program running. So please go dish, don't stand outside to take photos, come back inside. We're gonna have some videos playing. So yeah, I think table 1, you can start now. Thank you. Are you guys still having a good time though? Right? Okay, we actually gonna send 4 tables. So table 1, 2, 3, and 4. Table 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sarah, how was that? continue with the program, just to make sure that we end not early, but still get some sleep as well. Hopefully I won't get a call at 3 o'clock again with the CF asking me, I don't know where my room is. So next up, ladies and gentlemen, and our non-binary friends, we are going straight into our graduation ceremony. Yes, that 10 past 4. So next up, I would like to welcome Carla. She's got a new job title. I'm sure it will be presented when they do the whole MC, that thing that they do. Wat is het? Ek weet nie wat noem hulle daai ding nie. That backplay.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto stage Carla Watson.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, our non-binary friends and our friends dialing in. My name is Carla Watson. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a founding member of JGF, and I've recently been appointed as head of programs. Thank you, Marvin. Thank you. But first and foremost, ek bly, I am a teacher. I'm many things, but I'm first and foremost always a teacher. And Mam Ella, I just have to share, as a queer teacher, you said some things tonight that I didn't know I needed to hear. So thank you. Thank you for the work that you are doing with SACE as well. It's quite powerful. Thank you. I am delighted to be hosting, for the second time, might I add, folks, the graduation of the Jakes Gerwel Fellows program participants this evening. Each of you were selected for your demonstrated potential in those three growth, those pathways of impact. Expert teacher, yes. Expert teacher, educational leader, and social entrepreneur, yes. And that is why you are here today. But I must acknowledge, folks, it's not just you that we're graduating tonight. It's you and all the people that have invested time into you. Every party you said no to while you were completing an assignment, every extra mural activity that you said, yes, I need to do this and my assignments, and now as you are teachers this evening. And I recognize you, your chosen family, and your community represented here tonight. So yesterday, when I opened up Summit, just by the way, that was yesterday. After all of this, it was yesterday. When I opened up our Summit, I shared those 3 dimensions that I invited for you to apply as you navigated Summit. Does anyone remember what they were? Yes, Temwani, hoi. Yes, head, heart, and hands. I asked you to be mindful about how much you talk with your jaw in your head, the quality of your questions around your curiosities from your heart, and what you can do with that in terms of in your hands. And in preparation for my opening for you tonight for this momentous, incredible graduation, is I want to extend the 4th dimension to you. And that's your spirit. When you are in unison and in combination with your mind, your heart, your hands, and your spirit, your real power is unlocked. And as a teacher, as a leader, and as an entrepreneur, when you are in one, when you're almost in flow and everything just feels right, can you only imagine the lives you will improve with the people that you interact with? So in my letter to you for this graduation, I asked you to be cheeky. I asked you to be audacious. And I asked you to make mistakes. I asked you to fail forward and have the vulnerability to be wrong. And the quote, in fact, was, the only mistake you can make is getting it right the first time. And in our classrooms, our schools, and our communities, so much focus is on getting it right, being perfect, striving for perfection. We focus most on what we got right on the test, you know this trope, not so much what we tried differently or was a little bit creative around. And as an NQT and as an experienced teacher, as I talk to you now, keep making mistakes. Keep coloring outside the lines until you come up with a new color. Because that's how we're going to solve the problems that South Africa needs. It's not going to be what's been tried and tested. It's going to be what you see as different, as a bit more innovative, and what really matters and is relevant to the people that we serve. This is your dimension of power, graduates, that I've extended to you tonight. Your spirit and the alignment of all three and this fourth dimension will unlock your real power. Now, the known prayer, the serenity prayer, is often the basis of my reflective practice because it helps me notice what's in my control, right? It's not quite the parents of your kids at the school. It's not that HOD or that manager. It's not your colleagues. It's not the buffet of problems that, or the challenges we're dealing with. And it's also not that one student that you know, usually in grade 9. I don't know why. It is always in grade 9. But you rub up against somebody, especially that one student. What is in your control, and grounded by the serenity prayer, is your response. All you have in your arsenal is your response to the things that you cannot control. So my people, my teachers, my leaders, my social entrepreneurs, you literally have the power to influence another person's sense of self, their motivation, and their impact that they do with their time in this world. And I recognize again, because we don't arrive alone, we don't leave alone. I recognize the families, the chosen families that are here this evening to celebrate the beautiful choice you have made on how to spend your time, and that's to be a teacher in a classroom where Mum Ella did say there's no money, but we choose to be there. And I want to celebrate you, Jakes Gerwel Fellows, the teachers in classrooms, the leaders in schools, and the entrepreneurs in our communities. I am so proud of you. Thank you. Over to you, Jade.
Good evening, everybody. We are going to officially start with our graduation ceremony, the reason why we are all here this evening. I've had some nervous NQTs or graduates ask me, which side do we come onto stage? How do we walk? So I'm just going to go through that before we officially start. So once I call your name, you'll come onto the stage from this side. Carla will then hand you what needs to be handed, and you'll exit the stage via this way. Okay, so there will be 2 categories tonight. The first one being our full candidate fellows. So these are the fellows who have completed 3 full years of the JGF program. And then there will be people graduating as partial fellows. That means you have completed 2 full years of the JGF program. All right, ready? Ready. So the first person who is graduating as a full fellow this evening is in absentia, and that is Amber Mulder. Then we've got Angie Sechomotso. Next up, we have Angela Houston Brown. April Graham. Batetwa, mtetwa. Bernard van der Berg. Smart. Boichoko Mboweni. Karis Gertsen. Christopher Williamson. Trishal Moodley. Gugu Nchangase.
She's my friend. Yes.
Iviwe Mtubu.
Mr. Melatonia!
Letu Kakanya Mbambo. Sibulele Nobuzana.
Wow. Yes.
Mwani Nyama. And lastly, for our full candidate fellows, we've got Wandile Dlamini. The next set of names, these people are graduating with partial fellowship status. Our first person is Ashika Regal. Amy Henson. Atini Majali. Bootle Tony. Dirang Lekachana. Freddie Nyezi. In absentia, we have Ira Maharaj and Jody Rothman. Then we have Jen Eli.
We have a slight delay. It's coming.
Keikane Sivada.
Just waiting for your place. Here we go. Hey, yo, look at that man. Ready?
Kiora Petse Kibongiwe. Kristen Daniels. Lebohang Mojole. Lesiba Masenya. Letlojonolo Machane. Lifaletu Mhlongo. Luna August. Lungelo Slatswayo. Megan Cartwright. Oratile Ndimande. Palesa Mlambo. Mahlangu. Saskia Wells. Setu Matomela. Sihle Boy. In absentia. Sipakeme Mtabela. Tahir Ibrahim. Vika Nikelo. In absentia, we have Zandile Funde, and then our last graduate for the evening, William Jacobs.
And that brings our graduation ceremony to an end. Let's give all our graduates a big round of applause. So we're not done with our program yet. We have about 3 items left. I know you guys are all looking forward to DJ Liam. Yeah. I know we're all looking forward to that. But the next item on our program is the special awards that will be given out by my colleagues Jade Glenn and Mr. Samora Menze. Where are they? Sam? Oh, well, as you saw. Okay, over to them. Let's give them a round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto stage Jade Glenn and Samora Menze.
Okay, are we good? Right, good evening again, everybody, and it's such an honor for Sam and I to be standing in front of you this evening, handing over our special award. So this is a first for JGF, and as everybody this evening has said that yes, we finally have teachers in classrooms. So the special awards is an award that is celebrating our teachers in the classroom and the work that they are doing. We have got 3 categories, so we've got social entrepreneur, educational leader, and then teacher. Under these 3 categories, we've got another 3 levels, our platinum being the highest, and then we've got silver, and then we've got bronze. So we will now continue into handing over. Can we get the slides, please? Next slide. Okay, so in our first category, as social entrepreneur, we've got Iviwe Mtubu, who is being awarded the Platinum Award. And this is for Iviwe's work in the educational revolution and the introduction of the app Geo. Wait, can I go? Oh, thanks. So Iviwe states that as a geography teacher, you recognize the limitations of the class. Iviwe, let us honor you, my friend. He recognized the limitations of classroom time and instruction and then developed the app Geo to bridge this gap. In addition to this, Iviwe, as we've seen in LinkedIn, has also partnered up with Timna Teaching, where Iviwe offers extra classes or his lessons are presented to or made accessible to those who don't have access to education. Someone shouted out when Iviwe came up, Mail and Guardian. That's part of his wonderful achievements. And for this reason, we have found it fit to award Iviwe as the Platinum Awardee under our social entrepreneur category. Thank you. Next up, under social entrepreneur, we've got William Jacobs with the Silver Award. It is on your screens as well, so I'll just give a brief run through. But Wiam's role as social entrepreneur can be seen through her various independent projects that she has undertaken. Wiam is an advocate for all things creative arts and dance. She has also recently become a ChatGPT boffin and has extended that on district level. So well done, Wiam. Then we are moving on to educational leadership. And our platinum awardee is Temwani Niyama. Temwani's got quite the bio, but once again, it starts off with something that started within JGF. So her Year C project has elevated her. She now works with students at WITS. She works with students in the classroom, and Temwani focuses on all things literacy and literature. Well done. Under educational leadership with the Silver Award, we've got Sitembiso Mbata. Sitembiso is our very own JGF board representative. She is also a grade head, and that promotion came 6 months into the classroom. She is responsible for timetabling at her school. She instills her passion for maths in the school despite the negative feedback. And her school that she teaches at is not the easiest. So congratulations and well done. Then under educational leadership as well, the Bronze Award goes to Lebo Makhabutlane. Lebo is an intermediate phase English and life skills subject head as well as educator. And she takes pride in having implemented innovating teaching methods and also introducing technology in the classroom. Congratulations. Our next category is teacher. And the Platinum Award here goes to Tando Wetu Jele. Tando Wetu single-handedly runs the Natural Science and Life Sciences department at her school. She is the only teacher who teaches these subjects at her school. We heard on Friday how it is a low or under-resourced school, and we've also heard the steps that Tando Wetu takes to ensure that our learners get the best education possible. Congratulations and keep it up. Then under teacher as well, we've got Mpela Kohu, the Silver Award. Mpela is a master's graduate and an English educator. She also teaches at a school in a township that faces many, many struggles. But despite this, Mpela has taken it upon herself to inspire her grade 11 learners with a project called #TakeMeToMatric. So these lessons that she offers to her grade 11 learners take place in the morning from 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. and in the afternoon from 4 p.m. Thank you so much for what you are doing, Mpela, and congratulations. Last one. Our last award under the teacher category and for the evening is our Bronze Award, which goes to Lerato Mguni. So last year, Lerato entered her school into the National Schools Moot Court competition. And usually these schools have a trained coach. Lerato, however, as we like to say at JGF, built the plane while flying it. And she actually, at the end of the competition, 2 of her learners ended up receiving bursaries and actually winning the competition. Congratulations. Hold on.
Sure, I don't know who's cutting onions, but I've been crying, sitting there at the back and crying just to hear some of the things that our fellows are doing in the different aspects of our school and teachers. So, and you know, as fellows and as teachers, as NQTs, your work is being recognized far beyond just this room here. Just know that there are a student looking up to you that can't wait to get to your class. There's someone that they only look forward to seeing you. I mean, just imagine me being a teacher, them looking forward to seeing me. Yes, we heard earlier what Say said, that not girlfriend, boyfriend, but I mean, look at this. But on a more serious note, I almost said brothers and sisters, but on a more serious note, you guys have no idea what you are doing. And I said earlier on, a table said earlier, what's your story, Marvin? What's your story? You keep on saying this, and I think it's just so appropriate now, and it's not a story, but just like my experience. I failed grade 11 and I was going to go work at ShopRite. All my siblings never completed school. I'm the only one from my 5 siblings who completed school, who went on to my 3rd qualification now. And it's not easy. It's not easy being a student. When I failed grade 11, before I failed, daar was 'n ander woord wat ek nou amper gesê het, but I got a smack by a teacher. And I went to go call my mother. And I told my mom, die juffrou het my geklap. And she said, kom ons gaan skool toe. Dink ek, yes, nou gaat sy sien nou. And I got to school, you know what my mom said? Klap hom weer. And that was my wake-up call. And if it wasn't for that, I don't know where I would have been. So teachers, like, not just fellows, fellows and incutees, you guys have no idea the impact that you have on students. So yeah, there might be a student that don't listen to you, but it's to those ones that you need to reach out to. Let's stop the onions. Let's go on to our next item. We have a fellowship address. Siwa, you didn't teach me how to pronounce this name. Where are you? Oh yes, Gugu. That's just my Twitter. Gugu, please, let's give a round of applause. Sorry.
Am I not getting a thing? On the thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto stage Stembi Sombata.
Good evening to everyone. Most importantly, to the 2023 Graduate Rockstar Fellows. Can I say welcome to the club, where we dress up in fancy blazers and we go out into the country to make an impact on South Africa's education every day. We are so happy you can join us. I am here quite honored to give the fellowship address as the Candidate Fellow Board Representative, a position that I have had the privilege. Am I too short for the mic? Let's do this now. A position that I have had the privilege to hold for almost 2 years now. As you all know, I've been a part of the JGF family since 2018, and that's not just me, but a lot of the people who graduated with me last year. But I also need to acknowledge that there are people in the room that started with me who graduated today, just now. And although many, Samora especially, and recently Julian referred to us as ancestors, you guys are ancestors too. And that means that we have a lot of shared experiences about a disrupted education system and all the wicked possibilities in which we can make a change. These have obviously connected us and we've grown, which is amazing. And I don't know about you, but wow, I am inspired by the people in the room. Being a JGF Candidate Fellow, I think we can all agree, is a life-changing experience. From the moment you say yes, everything thereafter is about intention. I really think this is one of Carla's favorite words, and it has become my favorite word as well, intention. I'm sure we have all heard how everything is based on a well-thought-out intention. Every skills development plan, which is the intention of planning your future and your goals. Every reflection task about looking back, thinking about why we do the things that we do. Every event, from online community meets to localized in-person events, and of course, summit, has intention. And JGF's intention has always been to nurture experts in education
who embrace innovation and lead change as teachers, educational leaders, and or social entrepreneurs. Let me be clear in saying that that is everyone in this room. Whichever path to impact you are on, whether it's one or multiple, you are doing the things. We see you and we congratulate you. I have been a teacher for 2 years now. Well, actually, it's like 1.5 years, but I'm a maths teacher, and sometimes we round up so that we sound wiser. I have been fortunate to also be in a school leadership position as grade head. And a lot of you know that I have my own education blog, which one day maybe will turn into a nice book. Who knows? Publishers out there, are you hearing me? Anyways, so I write a lot about my experiences. To some extent, even experiences of other teachers as we have conversations about what it's like to be a teacher. The good, when you know that student finally gets it and their whole spirit lights up. Sorry, I've lost my, I'm a bit nervous right now. The bad, as we know that there are mountains of teacher admin, and then everything else in between. I do this and I find it important because sometimes I think that people who see us in the position that we're in, having holidays and stuff, also think that we have it all together. And it's not always the case. In year E, by now you've at least maybe experienced up to 6 months of teaching and managing your own classroom. You have probably realized that it is not all flowers and rainbows. Sometimes it feels like lightning and thunder and a little bit of a tornado here and there. And what I want to say to you is that I know that as JGF fellows, being the rock stars that we are, the overachievers that we are, we really don't like these days. We try to avoid them. And they sometimes make us doubt ourselves, you know? But 2 years of experience has taught me that I'm not superhuman, and I don't think you should be seeing yourself as superhuman. But we should see ourselves as humans with super intentions to do the best that we can at any given time. And when we're unable to, it's definitely not the end of the world. We have these amazing support structures who are probably a phone call or a text away. Shout out to program officers, teacher coaches, mentors, and of course, I always say every teacher needs a teacher bestie. What makes JGF teachers special, I think, is that we are can-do teachers. A term that I have been recently reading about in a book called Where Light Shines Through, and I know that it was a candidate fellow that suggested that book. So the author is Kimon Fatides. He writes about traits of a can-do teacher and summarizes them in this extract in the book. I'm reading it as it is. More than anything, a can-do teacher cares. She harnesses her resilience and her willingness to evolve to make things happen despite the circumstances. This agency drives her to do her best for those in her care as she helps children imagine and realize their greatest possible selves. So of course I'm talking about everyone, but the book just says she. I also questioned it. My last few words is that we should continue with this can-do spirit in our respective fields and spaces. We should also be mindful to give back to the community that has given so much to us as we phase into from candidate fellows, and then some of us are soon to be alumni. It is with this can-do spirit that we stand empowered and fearlessly at the forefront of solving the most pressing educational challenges, and in so doing, improve schools in South Africa. Thank you so much.
I think we can do better than that and give her a proper round of applause. So next up, to do the vote of thanks, I would like to call on my manager, Amira Suti Pillay. Let's give her a big round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto stage Amira Suti Pillay.
Thank you so much, guys. I think all the beautiful things have been said, all the beautiful people have been seen, and such a beautiful ceremony has been had. So I'm just going to do a quick thank you to everyone. I first want to say thank you to our leadership internally, Julian Hewitt, who always leads us with such kindness and humility. Thank you so much for today and just always being there for us. Thank you to Mam Ella for those beautiful words. Thank you to Zimkita Peter. If you were not lit up after that keynote speech, then I don't know what. That was amazing. Thank you so much for that. I want to thank Ansha, who always hides behind the curtains. She's so good at that, but she has been the project lead for not just this, but the entire summit. Thank you so much, Ansha. And then Marvin's phone is locked, but thank you to, my phone died, so I just sent my notes to him. Thanks, Marvin. I'm gonna say thank you to the guests joining online. And special thank you to the team who put this together. Joe, Stan, Siwa, Jackie, Jade, Hlezi. Mpho started, but she didn't. She left, but she still helped us plan this. And Litabo, to the production team who has done the lights and the stage. And our MC, thank you, Marvin. I'm a little bit worried that Marvin might go into hosting full-time and I might not have him in my team anymore. And thank you in advance to DJ Liam. This does conclude the formal proceedings. You're welcome to stay as long as you like. And thank you to the candidate fellows and the reason why we're here. We appreciate you and we can't wait to see what you do in all your other spaces. Good night.
Okay, so just before we all, I know we want to leave, we want to go eat, we want to go change, we want to get ready because DJ Liam is, he's set ready. But before Liam comes up, we have Asake that's going to perform for us again. And then we're going to close with Liam. After Liam, or while Liam is up, we're going to take a photo or photos. We're going to first have talent, and then talent like we had last year, talent with graduates. Is that correct, Carla? Cool. So, so Asake, you can make your way to the stage, and then Liam, I think you can also come in. DJ Liam, hey? Dessert. Oh, dessert, yeah, dessert is ready. Obviously,
yeah, they like it.
Dessert is ready, yes. So we'll listen to Asake's performance, and then Liam will hit us up, and then we'll gather all the graduates, and first talent, and then talent and graduates.
Oh, okay, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto stage Asake Kunsalana.
Good evening, everyone. I wonder who has been around nature. So if you've been around nature, I would like you to use your voice. Just follow my cue. Let's do this. So with your mouth, please create sounds from nature. And stop. Haye, 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 haye. Follow along. Haye, 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 Winja Gothbiro Keluro Kebala Winja Gothbiro Keturu Tetala Aye, 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 aye. One more time. Last time, louder. Thank you so much. My name is Asake Kunzulana. I'm an educationalist, a theorist, a performing musician, and also a teacher. And I'm so privileged and honored to be making music with you this evening. I think one of the key things that I always try to do with my singing is to engage with the audience. So I believe in the spirit of collaboration and also participation from the audience. So you've been amazing since yesterday, and even today you carried on to sing along with me. So thank you so much for that. The instrument I play, it's a Ugandan harp. It's called adungu, and I specialize in it. I didn't have a formal education on it, but because I'm a music major, so I pick up certain instruments most times, and I try my level best to express different sounds and imagine different realities through the instrument. The last song that I'll be singing with you tonight is also going to require you guys to sing along with me. The first song I sang, it's Kothpiro, which means rain is coming. In African communities, when rain comes, it is a blessing. So your presence here is a blessing not only to you guys, but also to your families and the communities that you come from. And the last song that I'll be sharing tonight, it's called Itemba Liyeza.
Vuka sukuma uzujonge phambili qulani bafana ncedani bantu abadala hlahlani indlela khanyani njengekhwezi lakusasa phumani njengelanga khonyani njengomqhagi nivuselele ithemba liyeza 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 ithemba lichiza ithemba themba liyeza 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 Timbalies, 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 oh, nalitemba. Last time. Timbalies, 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 Timba, Gutikwi Timba. Thank you.
So, can we just have all the talent, staff, JCF staff with AGGP, Sariki, all to just come to the front, and then just the graduates, if you can just please stay here. And the rest, let's dance to Liam's music. DJ? Yeah, no, you can go in. You can go in between. We're not going anywhere now, so you can still go for dessert. You can go get dessert, dance, stay. We're still gonna be here all night. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto stage Carla Watson.